Hello and welcome back to another UCL Fantasy Team Selection video. Today we're going to take a look at my team, my wildcard team for match day 2. But first of all, we are going to take a look at how I got on in match day 1 before taking a look at the wildcard plans. If you do enjoy the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. We've also got a deadline stream scheduled for tomorrow, so make sure you head over to the channel once this video is done and set the notifications for that so you are there for our final tweaks and changes and any questions that you might have before the deadline of match day 2. Now, jumping into it, a really nice week. Obviously, this was going to be my shootout week to try and get as many points as possible. It was a free hit for match day 1 because the plan was to use the wild card in match day 2, and I done really nicely. 92 points was good. I think it could have been a lot better. I also did make a extremely rookie mistake and forgot to make my substitutions. Thankfully, it only cost me 5 points and not any more than that. Obviously, there was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday games in match day 1. And I forgot to bring in my goalkeeper on Wednesday. So Pashalakis, my big differential for Olympiacos, unfortunately forgot to bring him on for Trubin and missed out on 5 points. So I will not be making that mistake again. I have set alarms now to remind me of making the substitutions, so we should be perfectly fine. It's good to get that out of the road in match day 1. And the fact it only cost me 5 points, I'm totally fine with that. You know, it could have been a lot worse. I could have missed the substitution deadline for the Sporting players and forgot to bring in all 3 Sporting players who did absolutely smash it. We done so well with that. Suarez was very unfortunate. I think he hit the bar and he obviously didn't take the penalty for Sporting, which we were expecting. The captain ended up stepping up and taking the worst penalty ever seen in the UCL. So very unfortunate for Luis Suarez. But Trincao smashed it. Kenda smashed it towards the end as well. Unfortunately missed out on the clean sheet for him. But you know, they absolutely saved the match day. And we done also well. The rest of the defence done fantastically. You know, Timber, Hakimi, Dumfries, 7 points all round. No complaints there. A bit disappointing with the midfield. Barcola obviously missed a penalty, which was unfortunate. Otherwise, he would have been another one with another double-digit haul. Rafinha was a bit of a stinker as well, and he is obviously now injured and will be missing match day 2. So he is one we will be wildcarding out. Very disappointing all round as well with the Benfica guys. Obviously, we tripled up on Benfica against Karabag. Trubin only getting 1 point, Otamendi only getting 3. At least Pavlidis did score. However, the alternative was going for Harry Kane, and we had the budget in the bank to go for Harry Kane. And yeah, Kane ended up getting 2 goals, I'm sure. So I think it was 8 points. We ended up losing out on that, but not horrendous. Obviously, could have been a lot better. Sitting right now at 121,000th in the world, but I think, you know, those on like 105 points are like top 10k at the minute, so we're only really about, you know, 12-13 points behind. And it was only really 1 or 2 decisions that cost me that, not going for Harry Kane and not making my substitutions and goals, and we could have really been right up there. But still a very nice week, and looking to improve on that for match day 2. So as I mentioned, we are using the wildcard this week, and I've already done a full wildcard guide, so if you're using the wildcard as well, make sure to head over and look at that, because you'll have everything you need to know. I'm not going to go over all of it again because it would just be a repeat, but what we are going to do is take a look at the target teams once again, and this is going to be the kind of teams that I'm looking at for my wildcard. Again, Napoli, Juventus, Barcelona, Chelsea, Bayern, Spurs, Liverpool, and then I've got some short-term teams that I want to, you know, look at. We've got Inter Milan, Newcastle, Arsenal as well. Now with Newcastle, actually, to be honest, I was tempted to move them back up. Again, the top teams are the teams that have 5 green fixtures. Newcastle obviously only have 4, but what really interests me, if I can grey out all the fixtures here in match day 5, obviously the plan is to use the Limitless that week, so we really don't have to look into that. If we look at Newcastle's fixtures, they've got 4 home games in the next 5 that I am going to have a potential Newcastle player from. So they're playing Union SG in match day 2, and then for the next 4 game weeks that I would own a Newcastle player, they're playing at home for all of those games. So you get Benfica at home, Bilbao at home, then Leverkusen at home and PSV at home. And I don't even think Leverkusen at home is that bad for Newcastle. So I'm very much like very interested in a Newcastle player, it is just match day 8 that they would be an issue. In which case I could maybe just bench them, because obviously the bench doesn't matter. So I could keep them for the whole term, the whole league stage, and I think they would be a really nice pick. But yeah, everything else I think I kind of mentioned in the wildcard guide, so I'm not going to look into this too much. So I can jump straight over into the wildcard team now, and I'm going to be honest, it hasn't changed since Friday's or Saturday's video with the wildcard guide, which I think is really good. It's really promising to see that I've not made any more changes, because that makes me feel like I've got the team that I do want to own. So no changes so far. I have kind of fiddled about a wee bit. I had DeMarco in at one point over Dumfries. DeMarco's seems to be getting more minutes under the new manager. Obviously last season he was getting subbed about the 60th minute by Inzaghi, but now that he's got the new manager, he's doing quite well in a left back, getting more minutes, and he's had a goal and an assist in the last 2 games as well. He's 0.5 cheaper than Dumfries, and what I used with the 0.5 to do was upgrade Kenan Yildiz to Anthony Gordon. Again, I wasn't the biggest fan, so I ended up going for back to Yildiz and back to Dumfries. But it is definitely an option. I mean, this was after I seen what happened with the Newcastle fixtures, so I kind of was looking at ways to get in another Newcastle player. But right now we are back to this team, which I think is a really nice sign. In terms of the 2 goalkeepers, we've got Chevalier and Roullet. Now I can pull up their fixtures now, and they just rotate perfectly for the entire league stage. So really nice fixtures as well. We're getting at least 1 green fixture from both of them in every match day, and then I can just play Chevalier in match day 8 against Newcastle. So really nice. 2 4.5 million goalkeepers. We did get confirmation today as well that Milinkovic-Savic should be the number 1 goalkeeper for the Champions League, which is really useful if you are looking for a 4 million goalkeeper. For me, I think it's just a bit too much of a risk right now. Obviously on the wild card now, I need someone who is going to be absolutely nailed for the entire 8 game weeks, so I'm not going to go for that right now. I'd rather just spend the 0.5 million and go for 2 nailed goalkeepers, and they rotate fantastically as well, so no worries there. With the rest of the defence, we've got the double up in Gabriel and Calafiori for Arsenal. Arsenal look fantastic defensively, there's no real talk on that. I do have 1 Newcastle player in Dan Burn. If you guys are a Newcastle fan and watching this, let me know down in the comments who you think the most nailed Newcastle defender is. Right now I do have Dan Burn because his ball recoveries were nice in match day 1, but if obviously all the defenders are 4.5 million, so if you think someone's more locked or more nailed in the team than Dan Burn for all match days, let me know down in the comments section. Chalobah I've got as well. He should be locked in the Chelsea defence, and he's only 4.5 million, and Chelsea have fantastic fixtures. Again, another one that I can keep for the entirety. I don't want to get left behind with the Limitless 2 players as well, so I'm trying to kind of go for as much of a Limitless 2 team as possible while trying to keep long term in mind. So up front I do still have Kane, I do still have Elise, I've got Mbappe, and I've got Güler as well. So we're doubling up on the Bayern and Real attacks, who have great fixtures in matchday 2, and hopefully they do quite well. Mbappe will be the captain for this week, and if we switch over to the dates as well, I'm really reliant on Mbappe doing well because I don't have a lot of captaincy options for Wednesday. Lamine Yamal does play against PSG, and he probably would be the captaincy choice. Outside of that, I guess I could probably go for a Gabriel, who I think is still a very solid captain, but in terms of huge hauls in the league stage, which you do want to aim for with your captains, I really need Mbappe to do well in that game, so he's going to be the captaincy for match day 2, and hopefully he's the one that does quite well. I'm going to take the gamble on Lamine Yamal as well. He's obviously got a difficult fixture in match day 2 against PSG, but he should be good for the entire league stage, so I'll get him in now and not really have to worry too much about it. Enzo Fernandez in here too. He's going to be in the penalties for Chelsea for potentially match day 2 and match day 3, and attacking wise he's definitely got the potential with Cole Palmer out injured, so only at 6.5 million I think he's going to be a really nice option, and I did want to get some sort of Chelsea cover for their really nice fixtures. Obviously for the wild card I don't want to take too many risks because we've got 7 game weeks to go in the league stage, and then not having a wild card in the bank could be a big problem in terms of injuries and minutes risks. So what I've tried to do with my wild card is lock in as many players as possible that I know are going to be minutes fine and are going to play, and I'm going to keep until match day 8, unless of course there is an injury. So the likes of Mbappe and Kane, they're just going to be my 2 strikers for the entire league stage. They both can play well in tough fixtures, and they both have nice enough fixtures as well. Mbappe's probably the best player in the world at the minute, so even though Real Madrid's fixtures aren't as good as other teams, I think he's still someone that I definitely would be looking to have. In midfield, I've got a little bit more flexibility in terms of transfers. Yamal and Elise are planned to stay in here for the entire league stage, and then my other players are a little bit cheaper but a little bit more flexible as well. So Enzo and Yildiz both at 6.5 million and Guler at 6 million, players that probably will come out at some point. With Yildiz, he could easily stay. You know, I think Juventus's fixtures are nicer towards the end of the league stage, but he is someone that I'm not fully locked in on at the minute, so he could potentially come out at some point. But those are kind of the players that I would be looking to use my transfers on if at some point I do get the opportunity to make a luxury move. The defence is pretty much locked, which is ideal. You know, Gabriel, minutes secure. Dumfries, minutes secure. Burn and Chalobah should be minutes secure, but I do plan on keeping them for the entire league stage, only 4.5 million. And of course, the 2 goalkeepers in there as well aren't going to be changing unless there's an injury. So that is going to be it for today's video. Again, deadline stream tomorrow. Make sure you are tuned in because there could be some potential late moves that we do go for, and again, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you do have. Right now, I'm very comfortable with the team that I've got. I think everything should be fine, and unless there's a ton of injuries going forward, I should be in a really nice position to do well in the upcoming game weeks. And I still think my Matchday 2 team is extremely strong with the players that I do have. So if you did enjoy the video, please make sure to leave a like. If you're on a wild card, let me know what changes you have made to the team as well that you don't have from my team. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, lots of UCL fantasy content on the screen if you are looking to watch some more, and I'll see you all for tomorrow's deadline stream.